Welcome to the Selling Your Screenplay YouTube channel. I'm Ashley Scott Myers, screenwriter and blogger over at sellingyourscreenplay.com. In part one of this series, I gave a quick demonstration of how easy it is to find producers looking for screenplays on Craigslist. In this video, which is part two, I'm going to show you some tricks to automate the process of finding these leads. In part three, I'm going to show you my streamlined process for actually sending out the query letters quickly. One of the things I really want to emphasize is how consistent you have to be with responding to these leads. Most of the time, it's going to feel like you're sending your query letter off into a black hole, but if you keep at it, you will eventually find some success. So automating this process as much as possible can really help make things easier, which means you're more likely to keep doing this for the long haul. If you need help writing your query letter, go grab my free guide, How to Sell Your Screenplay in 5 Weeks. The lesson in week 2 is all about how to write a professional query letter. The guide is completely free. You just put in your email address and I'll send you a new lesson for the next 5 weeks. Just go to sellingyourscreenplay.com/guide. So let's get started. So today I'm going to show you how you can easily search through these Craigslist ads. I'm sure you've seen the RSS button on websites and news sites. It looks just exactly like this. In almost all cases, it'll usually be a little orange box with these little white lines. That's just an RSS button. RSS stands for Really Simple Syndication, and basically it's a standardized XML feed of some sort of content. And what that basically means is that you can take this link and put it into an RSS feed reader and quickly read the contents. And the idea is you can put all of these RSS feed links into an RSS reader so that you can read all your favorite blogs and news in one convenient location. I use NewsBlur for this. There are a lot of free RSS readers out there. NewsBlur works well, and it's free if you have less than, I think, 60 feeds in it. But it's only $24 per year for the paid version, and then you get basically all the options that they offer. So that's what I use is newsblur.com as my feed reader. But there are a lot of these out there, so don't feel like you have to use this one. And many of these RSS readers, including NewsBlur, have an iPhone app. So then you can read your feeds on your computer, just exactly like what I've done in this thing. This is a list of all my feeds right here. You can see I have 61 sites I'm linking to. If they have an iPhone app, though, you can also get them on your iPhone. You just download the app, you log in with your username and password, and you can see this is my username, A.S. Myers. You just log in with your username and password online or on your iPhone, and all your feeds will show up so you can read all of your news. This is a great way of turning wasted time into productive time. For instance, I currently go to the doctor once a month for allergy shots. I almost always have to wait in the office a little while to get my shots. So I'll just open up my feed reader and start reading my favorite screenwriting blogs. Here's basically what I have in there. You can see this is my folder, screenwriting. So I've basically taken all the feeds. And again, this is basically the feed link that you would grab from your favorite screenwriting blogs. You would just click on that. And that link that comes up there, that's the feed link in this case. And what you're going to do is you're going to add that to your RSS reader. I'll show you how to do that in a minute, but it's pretty much just a matter of copying that link and pasting it into the reader. But here's all my screenwriting blogs. So these are all the screenwriting blogs that I follow, and you can just click through them, see what they have going. You know, they pop up. Here's a little summary or just a headline of all the current things, and then you can actually see in this window. It turns blogs and news into basically what you get like with Outlook email, where you kind of get the headline, which is basically like a subject, and then you can actually peruse the full article here. So this is the full article. So it's just a real convenient way to monitor all the various news and blogs that you like to follow. I don't always read every article. I mean, as you can see, there's a ton of stuff in here, and I certainly don't read all of it, but it's just a great way to peruse the titles and see if there's something that looks interesting. So now if you take this a step further, back to Craigslist, Craigslist will actually give you feeds for the different sections, and they'll even give you feeds for the different searches that you've done. So let's just go back to this one. We click on the writing gigs just like I showed you before. We type in something like screenplay. So now watch what's going to happen. These are all the different possible leads that we might want to go to in this particular section, Los Angeles writing gig section. If you scroll to the bottom of this page, you'll see this link. And again, RSS links are usually in this orange color. So you see the RSS link, and you can click on that link. Just like this, I'll click on it and it takes me, and this is the actual feed. And what you're going to do is you're going to take this link and you're going to put it into your actual reader. And you can see all of these articles that we just had. Let me go back here. Accepting short screenplay submissions. Those all show up, accepting short screenplay submissions. Because all this feed is basically a XML feed of all those things that we just saw. And one thing you'll notice in this is called the query string up here in the URL. You'll notice what we actually typed in. Our keyword that we were searching for was screenplay. So this is not just a feed of all the writing gigs ads. It's actually a feed with our keyword in it. So that's going to be very, very helpful, because now what we can do is we can take this feed and we can go back to our feed reader and we can put it in there, and then all of those will show up in our feed reader. So for instance, you can go to Craigslist and just grab writing gigs and writing job feeds for both New York and LA. Notice the keyword in the query in the actual URL, as I said. So what you would need to do is grab, for every keyword that you're going to search for, you would want to grab that in every section. So you might have, one for keyword of screenplay, one for a keyword of script, and you would just keep coming down to the bottom of the page and grabbing those RSS links. And then you would do it for every city that you wanted to search, in this case, Los Angeles or New York. And then you can just keep putting all those into your feed reader. So you might have 9, 10, 12, 15, whatever the number is, but it's a lot easier than constantly coming to Craigslist, typing in the word screenplay, doing a search. It's a lot easier just to take these feeds and put them into your feed reader, and then they basically just get fed right in there. And then in one fell swoop, you can just go through all of them. So let's just take this. So again, we take this feed link, and I'm just going to show you real quick. You just highlight it, you do Control-C for copy, or you can just use your mouse. You go to copy, and then you go to your feed. And again, this is not the only RSS reader out there, and so they're all going to be slightly different. But on NewsBlur, there's a little plus sign down here. You just click that, and it basically shows up. These are all the folders that I've created, so I would put it in the screenwriting, and then I just do paste, and there it is. That's that link that we just had. Craigslist, it finds it, and we just say add site, and we literally just click on add site, and then it shows up in our folder, in our screenwriting folder. I actually have a Craigslist folder up here, so that's actually where the proper place is where I would put it, is it would actually show up in here. But I'm going to show you another trick to actually consolidate this down further. So if you really want to get fancy, you can actually combine these feeds and filter them down further. There is a cool tool called Yahoo Pipes, and that will allow you to combine feeds together and allow you to use keywords to filter them. So you can build one Yahoo pipe with the keywords you want, and then you can just dump all of the RSS feeds you want from Craigslist, and then you end up with one RSS feed that you can put into your feed reader. The advantage of this, obviously, is that now you only have one feed to look at in your reader, not a whole bunch. So it gets even simpler. Instead of having like 15 feeds here that you would have to go through, you can actually combine them and actually have just one feed. So that can be very helpful. You can see basically what I've done with this Yahoo pipe is there's just different sections, and these are the 4 feeds that I'm grabbing in my Yahoo pipe. Is the Los Angeles Craigslist. I'm doing the writing gig section, the New York City writing gig section, the Los Angeles writing job section, and the New York writing job section. And basically, I'm actually in Internet Explorer, and Yahoo Pipes does not work that well in Internet Explorer, so it's actually better if you look at it in a different browser. But in any event, this is the feeds that it fetches. You can see fetch feed, then it comes over here into the filter, and then these are all the keywords, screenplays for in the title and the description, script, screenwriter, and then I go into the sort. Obviously you want ascending, so that's the newest ones at top. You want to use publish date, and then it goes to the output. Now, using Yahoo Pipes is somewhat complicated, so it's outside the scope of this video to really get into the nuts and bolts of that. But if you want to really go crazy, there are some cool things you can do with it. But the good news is that as you can see, I've created a Yahoo pipe that does exactly what I'm telling you to do, which is grab the feeds for these 4 things, filter them by these keywords, and I will provide that pipe feed for you. So all you got to do is get that Yahoo pipe feed, which I'll provide, and put it into your RSS reader. One note is mine does only combine LA or New York City. So if you're in some sort of another area where you want to grab, if you're in San Francisco, if you're in Dallas, or you're in any small town where they have a Craigslist section, you want to grab those, my pipe is not going to include that. So you would want to add that one on your own. So just to follow through with this Yahoo Pipes, it's basically the same thing. This is basically the Craigslist screenwriting pipe that I created. It's the same thing. You get your RSS feed right here, and you're just going to click on that and you put it in there. Again, this is maybe just a little bit complicated. I kind of just wanted to show this for people just so you kind of understood a little bit of what's going on behind the scenes, how I'm doing this. And on the off chance you really want to dig into this, if you find this sort of thing just fun and interesting, it's kind of a neat thing to be able to do. So you're welcome to go into Yahoo Pipes. It's a free tool that they offer. You're welcome to go in there and just create your own. And if you create any cool Yahoo Pipes, please do share them with me, and I will post them on my blog. If you have different areas, I mean, it might even be nice to get a more comprehensive Yahoo pipe that has San Francisco, Dallas, Chicago, Boston, all major cities, maybe Miami, and then does basically the same thing, filters it down. So if you create any cool Yahoo Pipes, just email me and let me know, and maybe I'll share those on my blog. Okay, so now let's go back. As I said, I've got my Yahoo pipe. I've got my RSS feed from that Yahoo pipe, which is a compilation of a bunch of other Yahoo pipes and filtered by keyword. And then again, I would just put it in here, click here, just put it into my my news blur, and this is basically what's going to show up. So this is the Yahoo pipe that I've created, is this CL screenwriting. As you can see, this is what it's called, CL screenwriting. And that's what it looks like inside of my Yahoo pipe. And these are all the different listings. It doesn't update every day or every second. That's why you might see some slight differences. But in any event, this is what it's going to look like. These are all these things. Now, a couple of quick notes. This won't be 100% accurate. You're not going to always find, there's going to be a few that slip through here. I mean, here's a product copywriting gig. Somehow that slipped through. I don't know. It must have some keyword in it that was in my Yahoo pipe. These are my keywords: screenplay, script. So it must have had the word script in there, and so it did slip through. So you're not going to get 100% of the the filter's not going to be 100% accurate, but that's totally fine, because you can see this has really whittled this down to just in today. I mean, this was yesterday, October 17th. I'm recording this on October 18th. So just in today, there's just about a dozen of these, and it's not that hard once per day to just flip through these dozen ads and see if there's any that fit. And some of them are not even close, and that's totally fine. But you can see that some of these might be, like here's one, looking for a script, Forbidden Love. So we click on it. Greetings, I'm a producer in search of a short script, blah, blah, blah. So here's one that if you had a short film about Forbidden Love, you might want to submit to. And this is Midtown. So this is a New York one. You just click on it, and then you grab the email address and you send off your query letter. So in the next episode, I'm going to explain how you can very quickly reply to these leads. Again, automating as much of this as possible is key, because you've got to send a lot of emails to get any sort of responses. And just like I was able to automate the collection of these leads, I also have some tools where you can to automate the process of actually sending out these emails. And that's what the next video is going to be about. Once again, all the links that I mentioned in this video, I will post them on the show notes of my blog, and I will link to the blog post right here from the YouTube video. So if you want any of these links, just follow the link in the YouTube video back to my blog post, and I'll have all the actual links right there, including the Yahoo pipe, which is that RSS feed that you're going to need to put into your RSS reader.